here, the Frugal Crafter, with a fun project today and a giveaway. I'll put a link below to my blog. I'm gonna have a giveaway of some really cool templates from greensneakers.com, and the cool thing is you're gonna get to pick your prize. We did this contest last year. It was so much fun that we decided to do it again. And today I'm gonna show you how to make some cool stuff using their templates. We're gonna make this cool box to hold note cards. We're gonna make some really fun interactive slider cards, and I really like this because there's not a lot of supplies in this, but you get like that little surprise message when you pull it open, and they're actually really quick and easy to do. So it's great for making these up to sell at craft fairs or to give as gifts this holiday season, or even if you want to like use some Christmas themed paper and make up some cool Christmas cards. You could like hide a little picture back there, and there's room in the back if you want to like stick a family photo. So it's really fun. And I'll also show you how to make some envelopes to match. So let's get to it. The first thing I want to show you is how to make the envelopes, and I bought my first Green Sneakers envelope template, this one right here, about 12 years ago at Joann's, and I remember it vividly because I was a brand new mom, my son had just been born, and I was having one of those I have got to get out of the house days, and as soon as my husband came home from work, I'm like, I gotta go! And I went out to Joann's for some retail therapy, and they had this template in the 5x7, and I bought them both, and I swear I've probably made over 10,000 envelopes on this template because I use the size the most because it's waste free when you make those, you know, half sheet of cardstock cards, the A2 size, so it just gets so much use and it hasn't shown any wear and tear. So all you do is you put your template down and you tear your paper around it, and I like to use a less expensive scrapbook paper for this. This is some Can Company, like the thinner stuff that you get in like a multi-pack, and I always have so much left over when I buy one of those big stacks of paper. And then what you do is you put that middle part in, and then you remove the outer part, and you fold the edges in, and then you fold up the bottom and down the top. And just makes such a neat little envelope. Now, if you'd rather have a white envelope and have it look like it's lined, just flip over the paper and make it so that the colored part's on the inside, then it'll look like a lined envelope. With this, I'd probably want to put like a label on it to mail it. And I thought it'd also be really cute to use up some of my washi tape stash by using that to close up my envelope. So I was really liking this design. I like it when I can find something that is either gender neutral or a little more manly, because I just have a personal tendency to go for more like pink and orange and frilly stuff. So I like to kind of work out of my comfort zone and get stuff that's a little bit more guy friendly. Plus, for craft fairs, I find people are often asking for more male themed stuff because it's just harder to find. You want to send a handmade card to a boy or male relative or something, you know, sometimes those are hard to find. There we go. That's the thing with washi tape though, it does tend to tear when you don't want it to. There we go. But it is easier to tear off the excess. Alright, so these will fit in our little baker's box. So here's mine that I've already made, and I'm going to show you how to use that template. Now to make the box template. This is super easy to do. This is the bakery box template that makes so many different sizes. Because of the little notches on the side, you can resize it, and I'll show you what I mean in just a second. The first thing we're going to do is line this up with a piece of 12 by 12 cardstock. This is designed to fit a 12 by 12 perfectly, but you're not going to use the entire sheet. So what I'm going to begin by doing is on the nice good flat end there, not the end there with a punch, this end here, I am going to trace the tabs of the end of this template, and then I'm going to use the back of a knife, you can use a butter knife. I'm just using this palette knife because I'm down in my studio and not in my kitchen, and I am going to just trace these score lines. If you want though, you could trace it with a pencil and then you could score it later with like a ruler and a butter knife or scoring tool. And then I am just going to score up a little ways here. I'm just going to go to the first set of score lines there, just so I'll have something to line up with in a bit. And now I want to make a 6-inch long box. So what I'm going to do here is look at the little notches, and they go in inch increments. So that'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I need to make a mark right there with my pencil. Was it there? I gotta count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right here. And I'm gonna do the same thing over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Kind of whoop, right here. I'll slide it up there so you can see it. And then I'm gonna shift my template down so that I've got the tabs, that last score line there lined up. Can you see that? I don't know if you can see that. I've got this score line here lined up with that little mark I made, and I'm just going to make sure, since this is a 12 by 12 template, I just have to have it lined up on the side and I'll be good to go. Now I can trace the ends here, and this will be what I'll cut out. And that's kind of like, that's why I like to do it like this, because I know if it's a pencil line, I cut it out, and the scoring lines I don't see. I kind of feel them when I go to fold, but I don't really see them, so I'm not confused. And I'm just going to score down these lines here. And I'm not sure if I went up high enough when I scored the first time, so I'm just going to go over these guys. There. Now all you need to do is cut along the pencil line. Okay, now it's all cut out, and there's a cool little template there if you want to make a window. I actually have a little oval cutter, and I'm going to use that to cut a window out here on mine. And you can save that to use in another project later. And then you want to pre-fold everything. So you've already made your score lines, so this is going to be pretty easy. I recommend doing this before you try to start gluing, because it's just going to be a lot less awkward this way. Right, and also before we start assembling the box, we'll want to put like a little window sheet in there. You can use transparency, you can recycle some plastic packaging, you could use vellum. I have this really pretty printed vellum that I've had in my stash for a long time. You might have some too if you've been scrapbooking for a long time. And I'm just going to put that right in there. I think that's going to be really pretty. Just want to make sure if it's a printed vellum that you have the more vivid side facing out, if that's your preference. That's my preference. So I want to make sure it's going to show up a little bit better. But yet it's still translucent, so it still gives you a hint of like what's inside. Leave that right in there so it covers up the adhesive. You can use any sort of glue for that you want. I just like my double-sided. And then something I'm going to do differently this time than I did last time is on this one, I made it so it was like a clamshell and the lid is over the box, and this time I want the lid to tuck in. So what I'm going to do first is assemble the bottom of the box, and I'm going to make sure that I don't tuck it in too much. I want to make sure that it's either completely at right angles there, or it's even bowed out a little bit, just to make sure I have that additional room. I love it that the template is versatile, that you can do it either way. So I'm just going to put a little dab on each side because I'm a crafty ninja and I can work that quickly. Last time I went out to dinner with the girlfriends, we were at a Chinese place, and there was a drink on the menu called the Sneaky Ninja. I'm the Crafty Ninja. With a name a drink after me. What would they put in it, I wonder? That'd be weird. Hopefully it would be like peachy and pineapple-y. And have lots of, you know, fruit on cute little cocktail sticks. Yeah. Have to be fancy. Alright, and since I have asbestos hands, I can kind of reach in there and just wipe off any glue. Don't do that. Don't burn your hands off. Alright, so the top I'm going to glue together, and this will be able to be tucked in. So it's just a different way to do things. You can see already that it's going to tuck in really nicely. So make sure on the top, if you're going to err one way or the other, that you err on tucking it in a little bit further. And I'll do this one a little bit slower just so you can see. So I'll like maybe even just let that overlap, just a hair, just hardly anything. You can trim it off if it bothers you. It's not even enough to bother you to trim off, but just to make sure that it's going to fit in there good. So it's completely up to you which way you want to do it. I think that by tucking the top in, it's going to be a little neater as far as like displaying and whatnot. Less likely to catch on things if you have them on a craft fair table. And there, just tuck that right in there, and look how snug that is. So, just two different looks. It totally just depends on what you prefer. Now, I want to decorate this box a little bit. I chose really flashy paper because I didn't want to spend a lot of time decorating, but I'm going to grab some of the tape that we used on our envelopes. I'm really loving the washi tape lately, and I was kind of tending to hoard it. Just like, it seems like every crafter is hoarding their washi tape, and we're all trying to think of cool ways to use it. So I'm just gonna, like, you know, bite the bullet and start putting it on projects. Because, you know, I can't resist it once on clearance. Like, this was 97 cents at Joann's. I was just like, Yeah, I'm totally getting that. And I'm going to use it because it was only 97 cents, so it's not going to be too precious. I think that's a problem we have, is our supplies are too precious sometimes, and then we don't use them, and it's such a waste because we bought them to enjoy. It's like my husband's a woodworker, and when he first started ordering like exotic woods to build with, he didn't know where to start. They were kind of precious, and now he's just like, you know what? It's just a piece of wood. I can cut into it. So I think it's a really good advice to, you know, use your supplies. I think I'm going to leave that. I don't think I want to go too crazy with the decorating, but there's the box. Now we're going to make some really fun slider cards. So here's the one I made for example. Just really simple, and really, how fancy does a card need to be to brighten somebody's day? It doesn't really have to be that crazy and over the top. I think some people get too intimidated to even begin this hobby because they're afraid of how much time it's going to take. The cool thing about this template here, this is what it looks like, is that you can do either a slider card that is straight across, or you can do one that is tapered like this. So it almost seems like your little spot there grows. I just think that's kind of fun. But the way you make them is exactly the same. So I'm going to use a kind of a more plainer design. I don't want a busy pattern for the base of this card because, as you can see here, you're going to stamp on the background there. So to size this out, and you can do this on the reverse side. You don't need to, so you don't get marks on the good side. You're just going to use your pencil, and you are going to trace around. You're going to mark your notches. You're going to trace that little tab, mark your notch again, that's your folding notch. And again, you can always refer to the printed directions that come with your templates, or you can watch the really quick videos at Green Sneakers, so you don't have to listen to me gab for 20 minutes because you want to learn how to make one thing. And I'm just going to cut out 2 while I'm at it. Alright, so now all you have to do is cut this out. Here's another quick tip for you. If you have a hole punch, this is a 1-inch circle punch, you can use that to make your little pull tabs. So easy. Now I also scored on those 2 lines. Remember the notches I made? You also want to score them, and you can use your butter knife or whatever you have, a scoring tool even if you have. And then what you want to do is you're going to use this part of your template to make your tapering lines. Just trace along the lines. All right, and we'll make the tapered, the straight one actually is just made the exact same way. I'm going to use a metal ruler and an X-Acto knife just to cut along that line. Actually, you could do this whole thing with a ruler and an X-Acto knife. You don't even have to get your scissors out if you don't want to, which is really fun. It's nice. It's nice to be able to work with limited supplies. All right, so now you're also going to need an insert piece, and the insert piece is going to slide along those grooves, and the template for the insert piece is actually part of this. Okay, and what I like to do is actually use whatever I used for the box, one of those leftover pieces, to make my insert piece, and I can get 2 out of this, so I'll be able to I'd be able to make the inserts for both pieces. So here you'll see that there's a little notch there. In fact, I'll do this on the back side. I think it'll be easier to see. There's this little L-shaped notch. I'm going to line that up with the edge of my paper and with that V right there. I'm telling you, these templates work really hard to make crafting easy. I'm just going to trace along. Alright, and I'm going to mark my cut line. I'm going to draw 2 out because I'll need the other one, but I just won't cut it out at this point. And that little V there, you can kind of line the V to the L, and then you can trace it right along. So they are designed to be really easy. Whoops, you know what? I made a mistake. I was making that one too long. I forgot that's the edge, so I'm just... You know what? I'm going to confuse you. I'm not even going to do that other one. Okay. I'm going to cut on that little slit. Alright, now we're ready to put the card together. And I got a little white on there because that was on the edge of my paper, but I'm not going to worry about it. Okay, so what we want to do, I'm gonna look at my other one as a guide just to make sure I have it right. You're gonna slide the skinnier, you're gonna hold it so you have your thick side here and your skinny side there, and you've got the tab to your right. Alright, so the skinny part is going to feed through the slot that you cut like that. Oh, I like those colors together. It helps if you use a coordinating pad. Oh, you know, I didn't cut all the way through that very well. There we go. I didn't make it all the way through that layer of paper. You get a little bit of a rough cut there, but oh well. We will survive. Slide that in like that. Okay. And this should line up perfectly inside there, which I think it does. And then I'm going to use my adhesive runner. Squeaky today. Close that down. Alright. Oops. You know, gosh, I didn't do a very good job cutting through that paper. Time for a new blade. Alright. It's kind of cool how that kind of grows. Now I want to find a stamp that's going to match. And since I don't have, this is happy birthday, how many fingers are you? Sometimes when I have a stamp like this, I will do stamp surgery because it's not going to fit where I want it, and it's more versatile if I do this to my stamp. On a block, and we will stamp it right in there. I like to use a waterproof ink because I don't want it to smudge. Okay, and then I think what I'll do, now I would honestly give this a little more time to dry. I think I'll take that happy birthday part that I just cut out of there, because remember, we've got to make our supplies work for us. We don't work for them, they work for us. And I'm going to stamp happy birthday a few times on that side. And see, I couldn't do that if it was together. I'd make a mess. All right. And I think I'll just kind of leave that like that to dry. So to seal up the end, I think I'll use some washi tape because it's fun. It's fun to use. And I can use some of the patterns I've already used. And I also want to make a pull tab, so I'm going to use another piece of washi tape for that. Just pull off a little piece. And stick it down so it can be pulled out easily. Just fold it over on itself so it's not sticky. And there you go. See? How cute is that? And you could add some decorations to this little panel if you want to. You could even tuck in a little present in the back, like a gift card. You could even like tape a little gift card so the end of it is stuck there so it doesn't get lost. And then when you pull it out, there'd be a little gift card on there. Now let me show you how these would all go together. Then there's the, if you made the straight one, you just, by cutting the lines differently, you get the straight one. You put these with all of your cards and envelopes in your box. I have all my envelopes in this box. Let's put them in the other box. Into other one. I like that. I think I like that pattern better. Put your envelopes in. Put your cards in. And I think that would be such a cute gift for somebody, or a great craft fair item to sell. I want to thank you so much for watching today. Please check out the video description for a link to greensneakers.com and the coupon code so you can save 20%. And make sure you go to my blog so you can have a chance to win your very own templates. I want to thank you so much for watching. Please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Until next time, happy crafting.